Hello, dear students. Hope you're doing so well. I am Professor Salman, your mentor, your teacher of the computer subject. Okay, so this is our lecture three basically, and this is our basically the series of all the lectures where we are going to teach you some tips and tricks, some basic important questions relevant to your interviews, to crack your interviews. Okay, and to qualify your best dream job. Okay, so this is our lecture 3 basically, and in this lecture we are going to use different also the most important terms like what is hub, what is switch, what is routers, what is bandwidth, what is BIOS, what is firmware, etc. These are basically the terminologies that are very important to learn, that is very important to teach. So our first terminology, you can say that, is firmware. What is firmware? A firmware is basically a program. A firmware is basically a program that recorded in your system to fit with the hardware, to boot your or activate your Windows, to give instructions, to perform your tasks easily. Okay, this is known as the firmware, also known as the program used to boot or activate hardware in your BIOS system. Okay, ये क्या what's the functionality of that firmware? What is BIOS? BIOS means that basic input output system. So in that BIOS, the firmware is installed to guide or to instruct, to perform different tasks, to connect with the hardware system. So this is the basically known as the firmware. Okay, so our next term is what is BIOS. BIOS basically used to control hardware of machine like CPU, frequencies, also enable the virtualization in your computer, in your system. Okay, this is known as the BIOS. BIOS is basically used between the input devices or output devices to manage or to control your whole system, or also to manage or to calculate your CPU's frequencies, also to enable the virtualization in your system, so to create a multitasking windows, so that is known as the BIOS. Okay, this is our the next term. Okay, the third one term is, you can say that, what is bandwidth? Bandwidth is basically a term. It is a very and most important term that is used in our computer subject. What is bandwidth? Bandwidth. Bandwidth is basically a maximum number of data transmit over the internet from one computer to another computer, or from one device to another device. The devices should be more than one or two, or up to so on. Okay, it is basically refers to the number of data transmit over the internet. Okay, the bandwidth is calculated in two terms. One is M capital B PS. Okay, megabyte per second. Okay, and the other term is M small b PS. The small b here represents the bits. Okay, while the capital B represents the bytes. Okay, the data transfer over the internet in the form of bytes, and the data transfer over the internet between the devices in the form of bits. Okay, these are basically the two scenarios. Okay, our next topic is hub. What is hub? Hub represents the central device to computer, to connect the computer, or to connect the more than one computer. Okay, this is known as hub. Okay, what is hub? Hub. Hub represents the basically, you can say that this is hub. This is PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4. Okay, P1, P2, P3 and P4. This device is hub. The hub is represents the central device to connect the computers. It is basically represents as the layer one devices. The main functionality of the hub is that to connect more than one computers, to share the data, or to share the network between more than two computers. Okay, this is known as the hub. It is basically half duplex. Half duplex means only send. It is basically half duplex. It means it sends or receives data at only one time. Okay, it does not have any capability to send or receive data simultaneously, but here the data packets passed from one computer to another computer one by one. Okay, this is known as the half duplex. The second is broadcast. What does it means by broadcast? What is broadcast? Broadcast always send data to all the other computers. Okay, for example, if you are sending one message to the PC1. Okay, the broadcast, what will be do it, the broadcast will be responsible to send first of all the packets to all the other devices like PC2, PC4 and PC3. After that, so it is basically the disadvantage of the broadcasting in the hub. Okay, that it distributes your data, not only your in a specific single device, but it also broadcast your data packets to the all other system connected with that hub. Okay, so that is known as our hub. Okay, thank you.